What's going on? So in this video of drawing dynamic anime poses from reference, I chose these two poses for Pinterest. I chose like a couple of poses that had a little bit of foreshortening in it, were in both pictures. So for this one, I chose Kakashi, and I guess he has his hand out and he's grabbing his kunai, and he's like in a real dynamic action pose, leaning forward. So for this one, I start out with the head. I used a box shape because I've been getting a few requests to do a lot more of the box shapes for the head. So I'm going to do a lot more of the box shapes for depending on the position of the body and how it's moved. So this one, I start with the box shape. I'm using the circle for the chest area, and I'm using the box shape for the waist to kind of show the slight twist that's going on with the bottom before I start to add the legs into it. And it's another way of drawing the body and finding out the position of the placement of the torso and the waist when you're twisting it and adding in different positions. You see with the leg, I kind of just doing the like a little oval shape real quick, along with the oval shape going behind the leg. This is pretty easy since it's kind of just not really showing a lot of the leg. It's just showing the top half of the leg, and you kind of just filling it in. And that way it kind of just, I probably can move the leg slightly in a little bit, but that's an easy fix. Now I'm adding in the palm for the hand, going in there, and I'm just drawing in the cylinders for the fingers. You see I'm drawing in one long big cylinder for the finger. I'm just going straight out, and when I start to refine it, I'll just start to break it apart with the three shapes or three splits in the finger to kind of show the creases of the finger. But right now I'm just roughing out the shape, trying to get the general idea of the hand down before I start to, add in everything else. And it's kind of a way for me to measure everything out too, because I'm trying to measure out the distance of the hand towards the rest of the body before I start to draw everything else in there. Like you see me adding in the circle for the shoulder and the cylinder for the arm connected to the circle for the shoulder. And since it's pretty much still the construction phase of the pose, you can add in anything in any order you want. So with that, I did the hand first, and I started to go back and add in the rest of the arm. As you see me doing right here, also I'm adding in the knuckles for the fist, or the fist clenching the weapon. I'm just drawing the hand out first before I start to go back and add in that arm and shoulder. It's kind of a way for me to draw the arm out to see how far it is to the body, especially when you're working in as a foreshortened perspective and just working your way back to the arm, because all the adjustments that could be made in your detailing phase after you have the whole construction of the pose done. That way you're kind of figuring out how far everything is, how to create it, and then just adding those details later on. I'm adding in the kunai. I forgot the little shape, just so I can get a general idea of how far it's going. Then the handle. And again, I'm just taking all the shapes, measuring it all out. Because any corrections that you see that would be wrong, you can easily fix. Because this is like a construction phase. You're going through it. You're trying to figure out how to position, how to place everything, how to create that pose, and you're just messing around and playing with it right now. And this is kind of like the easy way I like to figure out different poses. So I'm adding that little rib cage right there. Because once the pose is all done and you have everything laid out, then I can say, okay, I'm comfortable now. I can go in there and I can add my details. You can draw, the character, or you can draw a different character depending on what you want to do. And you already have I would say the hard part done. I'm drawing in the all the creases of the hand, just detailing the hand a little bit more, darkening some of the lines, adding in a little thumb that's kind of hidden behind the handle. I'm just adding in some last minute lines that I just see, and I'm just dropping in, adding in a little thumb. And again, depending on how you're doing poses, you don't even have to go that far. You can draw, just a head, and that after that you can start to go in and just drawing the rest of the body with details. I mean, it's all up to you. You can draw the whole thing with all the shapes, or you can do some shapes and then just start drawing a pose. Now this one, he has his hands out in his little action pose, throwing a fireball, or he's about to throw a fireball, and he's working in this one with circles. So circle for the head, circle for the chest, and circle for the waist. And I'm just jotting down everything quickly, not really thinking about it. You're just going through. You already know the shapes, and I'm assuming you've seen plenty of other videos. So at this point, you know how to do shapes quickly. So you're just going in there and you're just dropping everything in. So now I added the circle for where the knee is. That way I can get a distance of how far it's going to be, as well as the circle for the bottom to see how far the leg is going to go out. So I'm just attaching all the lines to the circle. And the other one's going back, so I'm just connecting just one line, and the other line is right behind that leg to show that the leg is bent. Drawing that foot. I'm connecting the other leg to the bottom. You see, all I'm doing is just connecting the lines to those circles. The circles indicates how far distance of how far the leg is going to be, and then you start to add the lines connected to that circle. I think I raised the circle a little bit. I figured the circle was a little bit too far down, but a slight adjustment. I could either fix it now or fix it later. It's all up to you. And because the leg has a kind of a slight bend, that's hard to see because of the angle that the leg is in. You're making the top half wide, the bottom half small, just to kind of show that the leg is bent, even though you can't really tell from this angle. Now I'm adding in the hand. Now I know this part seems difficult, but it's not. I mean, you're just drawing out the hand or the shape of the hand first, just to kind of get an indication of how far distance of the hands are to the chest area. So I'm just drawing out just the basic shapes first to get the hand down and kind of know how far that is and have that done. That way you can kind of work your way back to adding in the circle and the cylinder for the arm. Adding in the fingers, dropping in some shapes, adding in the long cylinder for the hand connected to the little U shapes that I have on the palm. I'm just drawing each shape out, trying to figure out where the fingers are positioned, rotated. That next one in there. The more you do it, the easier it gets. You just have to keep on practicing it. And I'm adding in the little creases. Like I mentioned earlier, 3 cylinders for each of the fingers. Just slowly dropping in there. Getting that little crease in the palm. And now you get the first hand in there. I'm adding in the second hand, same as before, in that palm. Now this one I'm making a slight change because I felt that the palm is a little bit further away, so I'm just adjusting where the thumb is, because I know that the thumb is a little bit connected to where the hand is. So I'm just adding in that part of the thumb first, and I just start to just draw everything around that. Kind of have everything a little bit closer. Because if it's not, close or whatever, it doesn't have to be exact. You're just drawing. This is just a general idea of where the pose is going, because you can always make adjustments when you're drawing the actual character, when you're adding those details. This is just so you can know where everything is, how everything's laid out. That way it won't be as difficult when you start to finalize it. I'm adding in those little fingers, trying to get those fingers just right. This is kind of coming at you. Darken some of the lines, adding in the little creases for the fingers. I always add the creases, rotating in a way as if you're, the fingers in 3D form. Just kind of make it easier, because making line creases, it'll mess you up. It won't give you that 3D effect. So always follow the cylinder shape when you're making those creases. Now I'm adding in the shoulder for the circle for the shoulder, cylinder for the arm, and then another cylinder for the forearm. But since it's foreshortened, you can't really see it. So you're just basically just overlapping shapes, creating a bunch of U's. So it's one U, or upside down U, another one on top, underneath that. And then the next U will be underneath that one to connect to the hand. And once you're done adding all those overlapping U's, then you have the foreshortened arm connect to the hand. That's one way of figuring out how to do foreshortened shapes. Just for me, at least, I just draw the hand out. Then I can either go from the hand back, or from the circle of the chest forward, connect to the hands. There's no wrong method for drawing these. You're just drawing them to just figure them out. And right now I'm just darkening everything up. And that's it for this video. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hype it up, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment for any other things you want to see. And take care.